Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Colin. It's been a while since I made some videos. I've been kind of working on a few things. The newest thing I've kind of got going on is the Superfusion MACD on the bottom. It's not like a typical MACD. It doesn't flip as easy. I kind of worked some different logic behind it to smooth out the crossovers. But I just felt like I needed something to help kind of keep from taking some of these like chop moves. Um, and so, yeah, like I said, that's kind of what I came up with. Still back testing a little bit. I've got to work on some of it because it kind of gets real wonky at times. So I got to lower the threshold on it and see if that helps. This is the Superfusion, basically cloud. That's pretty much what I've been using. You can use a trim flip with it as well. I am using right now the 21.9 settings on it. I find it kind of is a good happy medium between like scalping and long trend trades. So the way I've been going with it is, as you can see right here, you have, this is your first signal down here where the crossover happens. This is where you'd probably exit your short. So you could exit it here or probably at that line. So as you can see, we break through one of the ghost zones. So that's kind of a good positive momentum shift. This is a monthly zone. What I like to do is mark the monthly and daily zones. You can also have weekly if you want. They kind of give you pretty good ideas of, kind of like where some major support or resistance would be or some key levels. So right here you have the flip up. And so, we have the crossover and then we have green. All right. So this is where you would, theoretically, if you wanted to, you could take it right here. Where I always just put my stop at the bottom of the cloud. And then your profits, you could do several different ways. You could follow the top line, all the way up till there. Or if you really want to, you could hold until you get a flip on the crossover right here. So it'd be this candle, right up in here. Or you could wait till the flip over when the top green line flips below the bottom one, which would be about here. Obviously, you're not going to get these type of wins every day. It's kind of not really the purpose of it. Just kind of showing you. So like you said, you can see right here it flipped. So I'm going to be hesitant getting into longs right here because the crossover of the MACD, we have the support or resistance level of the zone, the daily zone 3. And so what you have here, though, see how these wicks bounce right off that zone. And like I said, you will have chopping around these zones, but you can see kind of like where really these are just kind of some support areas, or key levels that price likes to move around. So right here, you could go short. So you have the flip here, you have the break of this candle, and then you could go short to here if you wanted. Right here, so you have the flip of the MACD or the crossover. So you're waiting. You get green here. You're long. Follow the bottom of that line, and you're stopped out. Not a big deal. You might have gained a few points off that. So right here, you have a flip down, and then also you have a flip red. So you probably short here, follow the top. I always just follow the top, boom, we're out. I don't know, maybe 20 points. So as you can see, it works pretty good. You just got to remember to use risk management. Like I said, another signal right here. And this is like really a better signal because right here you have it bounce off that green zone. I mean, look how it just boom hits it. And then you have this divergence area. So this histogram has a lower low than this part, but price is making a lower low, so you have some divergence. Then after that divergence, you have it flip green or flip bullish, and so you're long, and so you could go here. So we have the flip probably about here. I don't know. Some people don't like to. To me, it's hard, like mentally, to take those type of trades without a pullback in. But really, as long as you know where you're putting your stop, guys. I mean, just take the trade. Just have a stop, have a plan. You're gonna get stopped out at times, and that's okay. Don't be risking more than like 5%. Of your drawdown. But like right here, you could take profit at zone 3. You could follow the bottom of the flip trend line, the bottom line, and you get out right here for like a 1 to 4. You could also, if you wanted to, another way of trading this, like if you have a pretty wide cloud like this, so this is kind of another little strat that you can do for scalping. So we know that the MACD is bullish. We have the cloud bullish. We have a pullback in the cloud. And so what you could do is you could wait for a break with a bull candle. So you have the tops of these bear candles, and then boom, you're in here for a scalp. Same thing here. Pull back into the cloud. Boom, you got a scalp. Same thing here. Pull back into the cloud. I don't know if I'd take that because right against the zone. I don't really like taking trades around these zones, really, because especially taking them into the zones, because like I said, see how price, once it gets into these zones, these are levels, guys, that I know a lot of people know that market's not ran by algorithms and blah blah blah. Like there are levels that computers are looking at, that big institutions are looking at, and that's what these levels are. They're just basically mathematical levels, kind of based off expected moves of the day. And so, like I said, price chops around. You could argue a short here if you were just trading the flips and the crossover. You would have got stopped out. I wouldn't take a long there because the MACD, see how the MACD saves you on that? The MACD is still pretty bearish. So right here, again, a flip, you could take a short. Maybe you would have got some few points if you wanted to, or you would have got stopped out of break even. Here you have, basically it flips here. If you wanted to take this candle, you could have, but like I said, I think a good rule is if it's around these zones, don't take it. But here's where it would be a good one. So you have right here, we have this bounce in. You have the flip here. We wouldn't have taken that. But then right here, we have the MACD flips. We're bouncing away from that zone in a flip of this red cloud. So we would have taken this trade. Like I said, probably right in here. We had the bullish candle. I'd wait for the next bearish, and I'm south. And so, how you take profit, really, a lot of people want for sure, it's up to you. I mean, I don't know about you, but, if I'm up 13 points or so, I'm probably usually risking about 5 or 6 points. So I'm at 1 to 2, 1 to 3. I'm probably taking profit. I'm gonna be really kind of just trading like these smaller accounts. Um, I want to just kind of do more scalping instead of trying to hold on to these long moves all the time. Um, I'm gonna be doing more probably like Apex and going for a $200-300 a day on multiple accounts. I think that's just a much easier long term way. My biggest payouts have come from doing that. Um, so that's the way I like to do it. Just go for your few scalps a day and then turn off the screens. So, like I said, that's kind of how you could do it. And like I said, you could do this here, kind of have that pull back into the cloud, and then you could take a short there if you wanted to. So that's how